to show you what's on the inside of you. He said, because you got to understand, this trial is to kill you where you can look like him. He said, because as I begin to kill you, I'm going to kill that flesh that's on the inside of you where you can look like him. He said, well, this trial is the only thing that you got to, he said, where he's trying to change your mind. Where you understand that Jesus is the only one who can get me out of it. You know how we need some, Pastor Brian. Well, we'll say, well, I'm going to trust the Lord. But if he don't get it for me, I'll go to the title pool.
Make it plain.
And if the title pool don't get it, I can go to my sister. I know she got some money. So the title pool don't give it to me, I go to my sister. He said, see, that's what some of y'all problem. He said, that's why you still in it. He said, because see, I'm making it harder for you where nobody can help you but me. He said, I'm making it to be unbearable. That you begin to talk to people who used to give you counsel. They ain't going to be able to give you counsel because, see, you'll normally get what you need to get from them. But God said, no, this thing here, well, I'm going to show you, can't nobody get the glory in this situation but me. He said, that's why I tailor-made it just for you. He said, because the shoes that you walk in, can't nobody walk in them shoes but you. He said, that's why I shipwrecked you. Because I need you to know that this is a job just for me. You know how in the world they said that's a job for Superman. He said, no, this is a job just for God. He said, I tailor-made it just for you. That's why we uncomfortable. He said, I got you uncomfortable. Where you understand. He said, I got it like that where you can't get comfortable in the situation. See, he said, sometime in this last season, some of y'all don't got comfortable being broke. Some of y'all don't got comfortable being in your depression. Some of y'all don't got uncomfortable with your marriage jacked up. Some of y'all don't got uncomfortable with your children being in the streets. You got uncomfortable because you stopped praying. You got uncomfortable because you got out of the will of God. He said you got so uncomfortable that you come to church and you don't even expect nothing from God. You come to church just out of religious duty. You don't even expect God to speak nothing to your situation. He said you don't even expect for him to speak into your life. You just got so religious. He said that's why I'm putting up the heat. I'm bringing the heat up to the. I'm bringing the help. I want to burn everything in you that's not on me. He said because I want you so uncomfortable that you say can't nobody do this but God. Because he said, see, if I didn't turn up the heat, y'all have been on got comfortable. You got some people in jail. Well, I'm just gonna be here for 30 years. I ain't gonna pray about it. He said, but you say that you're a believer. He said, you don't got so comfortable on your job. You ain't trying to get nothing better. You got so uncomfortable, so comfortable in your life. And he said that your household tore up and you so comfortable in the tore up household. Well, you ain't expecting nothing from him. Something is wrong when we come to church and we don't expect nothing. Something is wrong when we come to the house of God. And he said, those that worship me in spirit and truth. He said, if you don't praise me, I had the rocks to cry out. I had the trees to blow. He said, some of y'all say y'all love me. He said, I can't even get you to wave your hand. I can't even get you to open up your mouth to say, Lord, I love you. He said, but you the same one that told me, Lord, I want to walk in your will. Lord, I want you to anoint me. Lord, I want you to purify me. God, I want you to use me. He said, you didn't tell me how to use you. You just said, Lord, I want you to use me in a way that you can use me. Use me, Lord. He said, now I'm using you in your trial, but your mama ain't complaining. You keep opening up your mouth. He said, you won't even tell her the goodness of the Lord. He said, you act like you don't have nothing good to say.
Jesus.
He said, but the simple fact that you was in that relationship, come on here, the man beat your brains. He said the simple fact that you got your right mind, you ain't even realize that that's a blessing, that's a miracle right there. He said the simple fact that you got your children walking around here, that he said you ain't want for nothing, you got food in the refrigerator, but you complaining because you don't have a car you want. You complaining because you don't live in the house that you want to live in. He said, but you fail to realize that I'm the one that's sustaining you. I'm the one that's taking care of you. I'm the one that keeping your job open just for the simple fact to take care of you. But you mama that complaining, I don't have enough. I won't. He said, that's why I'm allowing you to be shipwrecked. He said, because when you shipwreck, let me give you the definition of shipwreck. It means it's the destruction of a ship by a storm or a collision. A ship, a wreck would cause a ship to be destroyed, to be ruined. He says, see, I'm allowing the trial to ruin you. I'm allowing the situation you in to wreck you. He said, because I want to wreck that perception that you said of yourself that you came all right with. He want to wreck it. So as you look, turn your Bibles to Acts 27. Let's look at verse 1. This is where they had put Paul in prison. And they was beginning to take him over. So when you look at Acts 27, look at verse 1. It says, and when it was decided that we should sail to Italy, they delivered Paul and some of the prisoners to one named Julius, a centurion of the Austinian regiment. When I looked this up, it says that when they put Paul in prison, Paul had favor with the centurion. It was his assignment was to watch Paul on the prison. And so when you know when you're in prison, come on here, God will have somebody to watch out for you. So even though he was in a sense like a prison guard, God had him to watch over Paul. So they were sailing and they was getting ready to go, but God gave him favor. So as you look at verse 1, let's jump to verse 9.